Okay, did you get the recording sign?
Yes, it is.
Good. All right.
Yeah,
so,
Mr. Ali, I'd like to make an introduction about our
Yeah.
investors' suggestion. Okay.
Okay. Ahmed, Abu Muhannad, واللي يسلمك. Let us just we will proceed by some whatever is going on now as an update.
Okay.
And for sure, any question, any suggestion, it will be feel free to talk about.
yes.
What do you think?
Okay, let's start like this.
Okay, thank you.
So first of all, I would like to thank you all for coming. This is our second meeting for the COTP case. So in order not to repeat the same issues from the first meeting, I'll just complete a very short introduction for new people here. And if you want to hear a longer version, then you can listen to the recorded video from the first meeting. So as you must know, we're a law firm that specializes in international law and international fraud. We approach our cases through class action lawsuits, whereby we collect victims from all over the world and put them together in a specific case where they have been defrauded. And through very low initial administration fees, we enable everyone to have a legal representation worldwide. Now, this is just an overview of what we do. I have here with me Mr. Zoran Miljakovic. He is the head partner in our law firm. Perhaps, Zoran, you would like to say a few words as well before we can continue the meeting.
Ja ću govoriti na srpskom jeziku, Aleksandar će prevoditi zato što, da kažem, želim da budem precizan u izražavanju. Hvala svima koji ste
So as Zoran said, law is a very specific endeavor, and we strive to be very precise to the way we speak. So he'll be speaking in his native language, and I will translate that into English. So Zoran.
Hvala svima što ste pristupili, što ste nam poklonili poverenje. Mi se ozbiljno pripremamo za ovaj slučaj. Ljudi koji su već pristupili našem sajtu, mi obrađujemo sve podatke i u toku smo pisanja već onih osnovnih postavki za krivičnu prijavu u ovom slučaju.
So Zoran would like to thank you all for coming, and he would like to thank you for giving us, trusting us and applying for this case through our Defend Me platform already. And he would also like to point out that we have already started making some progress on the case, even though we do not have the final number of victims, as we have started structuring the case in a way that will help us to proceed with it down the line.
Možeš nastaviti, pa ćemo posle vratiti.
Yes, so I think, as I've said, this is enough of an introduction for right now. I would like to open this meeting just with your questions, because I would like to say, keep in mind that this meeting will finish at 20 to 7 p.m. Vienna time, so in 32 more minutes. So not to waste any more time, I open the floor to questions. So please.
Okay. Is there any specific progress we can share now or later on, or we will open it for discussion with the people?
Right.
Then we will.
Okay, so as Zoran said, before we have at least some number of victims and clients that we can put together in a case, we collect the preliminary data, we collect preliminary claims, we evaluate those claims and collect the evidence. So this is the first stage of the proceedings right now, and from now on, the only thing that we need to do is to collect as many victims as we can and these victims need to apply through the platform, because all the evidence that you provide us will later on be used to write the criminal complaint itself, and to continue the case no matter where in the world it might be. Another important thing, the more client we have, the bigger the weight of the case, so to speak. So the value of the case is higher, and the case will need to be taken into account by the police and the prosecutor wherever we decide we might want to pursue it. So these are just the initial steps that we have taken right now. As obviously, as we have said, we need to have a number of people who will join, and obviously we need to proceed with the payment of the administration fees, and to just collect everything that comes with the claim and the evidence provided. So this is just a general overview of what we are doing at the moment, but later on we will proceed with writing of the criminal complaint, evaluating all the evidence, and then we will start the submission of the criminal complaints wherever we decide it might be most beneficial to progress the case as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Ask a question.
So, guys, for you all, whoever is want to ask anything, please.
Yes, I would like to ask a question.
Yes, Eric, go on.
Yes, Eric.
Yeah, hi. I heard on Javier's videos during the last 2.5 years that they know that the wallets where the monies went is still alive in Binance and still standing. And he even provided copies of the wallets with huge amounts of monies. The question is, if you are working off that also, in other words, getting from Javier his information. Javier is here also on the call, and he had on his videos copies of Binance wallets that supposedly those monies are still there. And probably that's going to be a help of getting out that money.
Yes, this is one of the information we have received from our clients. So different wallets with different amounts of crypto and assets in it. And obviously this is a very beneficial information, as Binance will track the trail or the money flow. However, it is really important to mention that the Binance as an institution will not provide that information to anyone other than the official state authorities, be that the police forces, be that the prosecutors or the investigators. So in order for the Binance to provide this information and to actually seize the assets and freeze the assets, which is the most important. So let me just mute someone, which is the most important issue for all of us. We need to go through the official channels, meaning that, as we have mentioned, we need to write a criminal complaint. This criminal complaint needs to describe the modus operandi of the whole criminal deed. So what has been done by the fraudsters, and then when the police and the prosecution take over the case, when they start their investigation through Binance, the Binance must reply, and the prosecutors might ask and will ask to seize the assets until the proceedings are over. And this is the most important aspect right now, because what you want as victims is to get your investment and get your money back. Right. You can only do that once the prosecutor freezes the assets. And when they do it, and Zoran can perhaps talk about it in more detail, but we have many cases. We have more than 3,500 clients in many different cases. The most important thing in the case is, once the case starts, is that the prosecutor freezes the assets. Then we don't care how long the case will take. Will it take 2 or 3 or 4 years? At the end of the day, you know you will get your money back. Mm-hmm. Now, this is what we are trying to do with the good criminal complaint, to find a good prosecutor wherever he or she might be. We will see where the jurisdiction lands best. And this is how we will start to deal with this.
Can a jurisdiction from one country get in and tell another country what to do? Or you have to pinpoint where those fraudsters were from?
It depends. There are several ways where we can approach it. One way is to where the fraudsters are actually from. That's one. The second way is where the companies that they operated through are based. And the third way is where the victims are located. So for example, if you're from Europe, and we have clients from Europe as well, we can start the case out of Germany. Or we can state the case, if we have somebody in the US, we can start the case in the US.
I'm in New York. Yeah.
Pardon?
I'm in New York. Yeah.
In New Jersey, yeah.
Excellent.
In New Jersey.
Excellent, even better. Americans are very efficient when it comes to that. So yes, these are the three ways that how we will
even the certificate of COTPS is issued by Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
Excuse me?
The certificate, the COTPS certificate, it had been issued from the Colorado state.
Well, this is the certificate that they have provided. That will obviously need to be double checked. So, I mean, obviously this is a good lead, but we will double check everything. And this is down the line. We will determine together in our office where the best jurisdiction lies. And we start cases out of different jurisdictions. We can start it in Europe. We can start it in the US. We'll see. It's just where we think they will be the most efficient and who is going to seize the assets first. This is what's the most important.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Arif. Shall I proceed?
Please go on.
Yes, Ahmed.
Okay. Regarding the administration fees, many investors have been harmed by this COTPS scamming Ponzi scheme. So I think we have over 12 million investors in this COTPS scheme Ponzi. So yeah, over 12 million investors. So some reached me and asked about if there is an option about paying the administration fees. For example, if I can pay the fees, okay, no problem. You take the fees as my capital or my last capital on COTPS, and 10% after the sentence, okay? Or if I cannot pay the administration fees after the sentence, instead of paying you 10%, I will give you 15% or 12%, 20%. So because I cannot pay the fees now, this will help us to have many investors that will apply for the case. So we have more attention from the law enforcement about this case. So I urge you as a lawyer firm to study this suggestion and make it optional. If I can pay, okay, now I can pay administration fees. If I cannot, you'll get 20% or 15% after the sentence of the lawsuit. So that is many concerns.
Yes, who else who want to add something here? It's okay.
Ja da objasnim.
Yes, we have had this question before. We have had this question in different cases. So this is not new for us. On that, we must say that unfortunately, the first administration and processing fees need to be paid. The reason for that is that we as a law office need to pay our office staff to process each claim. This means that unless we get money from clients to pay the processing fee, we will be paying from our pockets, and we will participate in something that is not that it will cost us more, you see? So this initial amount of, depending on your investment, is something that we feel, and we have talked about it in great details, because obviously we want to help people as much as we can. This is the minimum amount that we directly pay to our office workers that needs to be covered. Now, 10% of what we retrieve is the amount that is, again, relatively low, especially taken into account the risk that we as a law office take, whereby we will invest years and hundreds of hours of our time that at the end of the day needs to be paid. So regardless of this, we take a huge risk. And on top of everything, through class action, as I've mentioned before, we have the option to charge so little. Now, I invite you to go to any law firm in Europe, in the United States, South America, wherever it might be, and tell them for that amount of money to provide the service that we are offering right now. It is impossible. And the only way that we can do it is if we do it this way. Perhaps, Zoran, you would like to add something else?
Ja hoću da kažem. Znači, mi smo dali najmanju moguću cenu za kolektivno prijavljivanje iz razloga što mi ćemo otvoriti slučaj u jednoj, drugoj, trećoj zemlji, plus svaka obrada treba 3-4 radna sata najmanje za slaganje svakog individualnog klima. Znači, to su troškovi koji ne mogu da se podnesu na drugačiji način. A osim toga, onaj ko ne plati fee, ovaj minimalni koji smo mi odredili, mi smo imali, ako bismo drugačije radili, lažnih prijava mnogo, zato što ljudima je potpuno svejedno, čak naš rad prate protivna strana, pokušavaju da nas ometaju i tako dalje. Jedan od razloga je potpuno besmislene prijave ljudi koji ne postoje, a mi se onda uzimamo za ozbiljno, obrađujemo, radimo i tako dalje. Tako da je ovaj jedan minimalni test jedne ozbiljne namere svakog klijenta koji hoće da participira za zaista minimalni iznos.
Okay. So as Zoran said, the amount that we have decided on is really the minimum amount, and it's a very, very low amount, considering what we as a law office have to do. And that is writing a criminal complaint, collecting all the evidence, and each administration, each claim from each victim needs a few hours of evidence sorting, gathering, checking that needs to be paid. On top of everything, we have different jurisdictions where we have to follow up the claims in different countries. We might have to hire local lawyers, local assistants. That all costs huge amounts of money. So every case that we take on the risk. But at least what is really important as well, as Zoran mentioned, is that each client that comes into a case needs to participate with some amount of money. Why? Because this, at the very least, shows intention to participate in the case in a way that will be correct and serious when it comes to their individual claims. Unless client proceeds to pay even these initial administration fees, we had in other cases, we had claims where people write complete nonsense because they don't care. It's just, we have had this situation before, and it's not something that can be dealt with. We have the competition, or in this case, the fraudsters that create fake accounts. They submit their nonsense claims as well. So it's a very, very difficult situation. I'm sure you must understand that nothing in this world is for free. And what we're offering is just something that is very, very basic, especially for the service that we provide to all of you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes. So next question. We have 15 more minutes, please.
My question is, if for example, somebody lost $200,000 in this scam,
right?
How much are you looking for if it's already over 2.5 years now? since we left? Is this going to be with interest? How does that work? And second question is,
you mean the percentage of compensation?
I'm sorry?
You mean the percentage of compensation?
I understood the questions. So how this works is you as a victim submit your claim. So you say you have lost $200,000. When you go through the application and submission process, you will see through our platform where you have to fill out all the data and all the details when it comes to the claim itself, meaning that you have the amount of money provided with the evidence that you have to support your claim. So this is the first step. The next step is when the prosecutor freezes the assets and the case goes to first investigation stage and then the trial stage, we as a law office will submit your claim along with the criminal proceedings. What that means, if you claim 200,000, you will get a percentage, probably the whole amount, depending how many people there are in the claim and how much assets they seize. What is beneficial in cases like this is that if we collect, let's say 50 or 100 or 200 clients, it's usually the clients that we represent that can get their full amounts back because the assets that the prosecutor seizes are usually higher than the claim amount of our clients. Meaning, if you have 200,000 that you claim and the prosecutor has collected or seized 10, 15, $100 million, you will be paid out of these $200,000, which will be then determined from the expert witnesses that the court will provide or that we will provide.
7 days also.
Let's not, technicalities are
7 to
not
8 days.
important right now, but at the end of the day, you will also be able to ask for interest for the money that was not in your possession or that was defrauded from you. But these are different legal, these are different aspects of the law, and we will take care of it when that comes to the docket. So we'll pay attention to all of that. So this is, I hope this answers your question. If not, perhaps you will. Yeah, Zorane, please.
Iz prakse. Vi možete ceo iznos i oni koji ste uložili i interes da tražite. Kada se opredeljuje, kada se vraća iznos nazad, to će veštak sudski, koga mi unajmimo da to sredi dokumentaciju za sud, on će sve to uzeti u obzir. Ako protivna strana nema prigovor ili protivna strana, može se desiti da u ovom prvom postupku dobijete i jedno i drugo. Znači da dobijete i interes koji ste izgubili i mi možemo tražiti ceo interes u procesu, odnosno u našoj zahtevu za obeštećenje.
Yes. So the point that Zoran is making, you will ask for the whole amount that is owed to you. We will substantiate it with evidence. We will ask for the interest as well. And this will be a part of the expert witness testimony in the court, which will determine your actual claim based on the evidence that you provide and based on the evidence that the police has gathered as well. So it's a technicality, but it's down the line. Now we have few more steps before we actually get there.
Yeah. Mi znamo kako to trebamo napraviti, to je, da kažem, jedno pravno umeće i veština advokata, znate.
Yes, as Zoran says, we know how to do it. We have done it many, many times, and it's a very specific, let's say, legal skill that that we have done, as mentioned many times in many different cases. So this is just a technicality that you really don't have to worry yourself with.
Great.
Thank you.
So let's maybe one or two more questions. Isabel, maybe you wanted to ask something. I see you've written something.
Who?
I see here Isabel or whoever. The floor. Okay, ask to unmute.
Yeah. Olawale,
Ayeni, please. Olawale Ayeni. I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah. The mic.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, good evening, the barrister.
Good
Good evening.
Yeah, I appreciate your efforts, and we believe in the cause. But I have two concerns. Actually, I've been offline, so I wouldn't know how you answer the issue about the fee. That should be optional, because I have some downliners, and when we heard about all this, all of us were so happy. When it comes to the fee, many of them they were scared, because somebody who has lost money and is still being asked to pay money. And in this part of the world, in Nigeria, economy here is so bad. So we're so scared. But the point is, you mentioned something which is of interest in your message, that crowd matters. And I can assure you that we can pull the crowd. But the point is, without payment, the administrative fee, let us know how much you are going to deduct as compensation if the case is won. If we add about that and we tell them, everybody, they are ready to come in. That is one. The second concern, when I was going through the form to fill, they were asking for the dashboard and the username. Unfortunately, many, they don't have the caption of their dashboard. And ever since COTPS has disconnected, we don't have access to the dashboard. How can we sail through this in the process of filling the form and apply to be one of the victims? So these are the two concerns which I think I should present.
So the first concern, I think we've talked about it, about the administration fee. We have talked about it in length. So perhaps you can check the recording of this video for answer to that. Regarding your second question, yes, in a way, you need to substantiate your claim. If you don't have a dashboard or a username, you must have some sort of evidence. You must have some sort of a transaction or any way to prove that you have actually sent them the money. So that can be best if you have
transaction, for example, the transaction hash for any money
Messages.
into
everything.
COTP or from COTP to you. Transaction
Na kraju
hash.
svedok može.
Yes, you must have received a confirmation from COTP in email or whatever you might have to prove that you have actually sent the money to them and the amount.
Okay, no
if you
problem.
don't have a dashboard, yes, then what you have sent.
Okay, we have those ones. We have the email. I have even the Binance transactions. I have all
Yeah,
those.
confirmation mail, it's okay. Confirmation.
That is enough.
Yes.
So we have time, I guess, for one or two more questions.
Anyone else? Javier, Isabel, Gibanga.
Yes, I would like, I mean, you already asked, I mean, the people here, I mean, with you, the lawyers, I mean, the people have been asking, I mean, the same question over and over, you know, like the percentages, you know, but I mean, I'm here to say that from Latino people, Latin people and Hispanic people, I mean, people have been suffering a lot through these scams, you know. So the people don't want, I mean, they already told me by private messages that they don't want to pay the fee. I mean, even me, I mean, I'm working, but my salary is too low. You know, here in Colombia, the salaries are too low, and you're charging in euro, and the people are saying that they don't want to. I mean, they want to see results. If they see results, probably they are going to take the risk and pay the fee. But unless they don't, I don't know if my question is clear to you, but
Yes,
I don't know, guys, if you can make an exception, like the fee could be a little bit lower. I don't know, except to you, in order that the people can get access and be part of the list. I mean, I can see that you're a really serious office, And thank you so much for inviting me. And that's why I'm telling you, a little bit lower the fees, and I think that people can get it. Even me, I can make a lot of effort to get in.
Pa, znate šta, mislim, ljudi vrlo lako daju novac za investicije kad očekuju neki povrat kada uđu u neki posao, znate, i nije im problem da daju 1000, 2, 5, 10. Kada trebaju da povrate svoj novac, oni imaju vrlo neprijatan osjećaj i boje se da se to neće desiti. I zbog toga oni obezbede novac za investiciju koja je propala, a za advokatske troškove koji su stvarno minimalni. Mi ovde, ja u Srbiji u kancelariji kad dođe klijent...
Molim te, ne mogu da prenesem sve to.
Znači, reci, to nije taj osjećaj, a ne postoji drugi način. Ovo je jedini način da dođe do svog novca ili da ga...
Yes, Javier, thank you for the question. I mean, we have talked about this many times, and I see this is the biggest issue that people deal with. And as Zoran says, we understand all of that. We also want to point out that we understand the human nature, that when it comes to investments, that's something that actually provides potential return. People are willing to invest thousands of dollars, so $1, $2, $5, $10, $50, $100, $150,000. People are willing to do that. But let me put it this way. This approach is the only way that you will potentially see your money back. So we understand that you might have reservations about investing further, but nothing in this world is for free. And we offer the minimum of minimum amounts, that we operate at a loss unless we get money down the line after the case is finished in years' time. So what Zoran essentially says is that it's difficult to not perceive this as wasting money, in the sense that it's better to feel of it into potentially paying to get something that you're owed. Yes, this is a maximum amount that you have invested, but unless you approach it from a legal perspective, you are never going to get anything back. And I can promise you that they will never give you your money back. And unless the police and the prosecutors are involved, you will never get it back. So now it comes down to you. And I understand people don't want to take risks, but we take the biggest risks here because you have lost fixed amounts. But the case can go on for years, and we have to pay everyone who works on the case. And we only take cases that we believe in, and we only take cases that we think that we can make money from. At the end of the day, even though we have low prices, we're not a charity organization. There are many people who depend on us, and we need to make these payments as well. So we sympathize with those people who have invested money. But at the end of the day, if you want to get something back, you will need to take the risk together with us. We cannot take all the risks for you, but we can take the risk together. And yeah, so this is the answer to the question. We have 2 more minutes, so this meeting is coming to an end. Javier, Eric, and most of all, Ali, and everybody else here, Zorane, I also want to thank you all for coming tonight or this morning, depending where you are. I think it was a beneficial meeting, and we have really answered some of the biggest questions that I see worry people. We are always open to further questions and to further Zoom meetings. If you might have any, you can contact us through our official email or through the contact form, or you can direct your questions to Ali, and Ali will forward them to us, and he will help you out when it comes to submitting your claim and all of that. So once again, thank you all. Maybe you want to say something before the meeting automatically ends in 1 minute.
It's fine. Clear. Hope it's clear for our friends, more clear than before. And يعني put yourself in the other cap, for others as well whom are going to spend efforts. For me, I don't like to pay. You don't like to pay. He don't like to pay. He don't like to pay. But once we have to, means we